Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager save. This is episode number 23, and as you can probably tell by the tone of my voice, oh god, and that as well. Okay, let me start again. Note to self, do not eat chocolate 30 seconds before you start a commentary. What's going on guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Football Manager Saves, episode number 23, and today we are returning with a more candid episode as we take a special in-depth look at the save, where you'll take a look under the hood of the save, if you will, where you will see things you wouldn't normally see in an FM episode. We'll take a closer look at Norwich City as a whole, our club facilities, our backroom staff and whatnot, what's been going on around the world in major European leagues and international competitions too, and loads of other stuff that I ordinarily couldn't fit into a regular episode. So yeah, loads of stuff to get through in the special episode. Let's get straight to it. And yes, for those wondering, I am still struggling to kick chocolate and cookies out of my vegan diet. Vegan chocolate just isn't the same, man. It doesn't taste the same. And chocolate right now is one of the few things I have that still isn't vegan. That cookies and protein powder I'm struggling to get rid of. But anyway, we're going to take a look at myself to begin the episode off, and you can take a look at my profile as a whole here, where I've got two relationships. Russell Martin, I don't know where on earth he came from. Of course, he was formerly a Norwich player, so maybe that has something to do with that, I'm not entirely sure. And Gareth Southgate is also in my relationships tab as well, and I think it's because I have occasionally answered a couple of press conferences where I've said that Ben Godfrey and Max Aarons deserve call-ups to the senior side. But you can see my win percentage down here is 47%, very impressive to be honest. And you see my career milestones of the relegation and then the championship a couple seasons ago. My attributes are here for you. As you can see, they're still quite low right now because I've still only got my National A license. However, now live on camera, if you will, I'm going to start a coaching course and try and get my Continental C as quickly as possible. For those that do Football Manager and don't start off with Continental Pro, I always recommend that as soon as the season's over, that's when you request a coaching course from the board. Ordinarily during the season, they won't let you go away and study because you need to be focusing on the club. But currently, come to summer when there's no games, they'll normally let you go and gain you some further qualifications. So that's my profile right now. I'm on 50 grand a week. What I do for it to earn that in a year, man. And I've got a 3-year deal and it expires in exactly 3 years' time and a month as well. Now, as we take one last look at our Norwich team come the end of our third season, I have to say I've been so happy with what we've been building here at Carrow Road. I really love the amount of young talent we got, and this season we saw so much development for our young players as well. Now, some of you guys might be wondering who is out of contract come the end of the season, and I'll show you right now. We've got Fabianski out of contract. Now, of course, we can trigger an extension if we wish to do so, but I'm not entirely sure I'm going to do that now at 37 years old and didn't cover himself in much glory in the few games he played this season. Timu Pukki, who of course, as we know, is on his way to Arsenal Tula come the end of the season on a free transfer, so he's gone, and I'm totally fine with that. And also Louis Thompson, a young, well not young, he's 27 now. No, 27 is young, sorry. What am I thinking? 27 is young. A young 27-year-old. He's out of contract come the end of the season. Again, I can trigger an extension, but he's not really got the quality to play in the Premier League. And of course, Shaqiri and Brewster are going back to their parent clubs, Leicester and Liverpool, as they are out on loan this season. As I mentioned before, in the summer window, Brewster is going to be my number one target. I don't know how much Liverpool are going to ask for him. In the report section, it says around £39 to £54 million, and he would be extremely interested in joining our club. I'd imagine that's going to rise, though, in the summer. I'm not entirely sure. But he is my sole target for the new season. There's no doubt about it after the heroic season he had this season. And I've been so happy with the development of players as well. I briefly touched on it in the last episode. The development this season of so many youngsters, including in particular Aarons and Godfrey, has been fantastic. And obviously I said before, FM is such a strategic game. There is so much depth to it, and so many tangibles affect whether a player is going to develop nicely or stagnate in his growth. And one of the big reasons why I think we saw so much development this season, well, two reasons I'd say. The first is that my players were happier. Do you remember last season we had so many dressing room issues? Right now we've only got one dressing room issue, and that's with Rob Holding. All of my youngsters are happy. They're all on more money, all on more secure contracts, and of course they've been gaining competitive match experience at a higher division in the Premier League. Those factors there combined have seen them grow really nicely and develop really well too. So it's been a great season for development and also for form as well. And speaking of happiness, you can see what I mean right here in the dynamic screen right now. Our team cohesion is very good. Our dressing room atmosphere is excellent. And the managerial support for me is also excellent as well. The only issue we've got is Rob Holding wanting to leave as he's not starting many games. But that's it. Do you remember last season, at the start of this season as well, we had so many issues here. There was a bloody scroll bar for me to go down and see them all, but now it's just a one issue, and that's a big reason why the players are developing really nicely. In hierarchy, as you can see, Harrison Reed, Ben Godfrey and Buendia are our team leaders right now. Do I expect Reed to drop off from the team leader section next season for someone else? He doesn't play that many games now. And in the social groups, pretty much everyone's in the core, and there's just 4 in the secondary. So moving on to our backroom staff here with Norwich City, and as I always say, I'm not a good football manager player, so I never like to give tips or anything. As I always say, I'm just an entertainer. I'm not someone you should watch if you want to get better. Obviously, I got relegated in the first season, but the one tip I do always give is that you can't really neglect this side of the game. The coaching staff is so important and so integral to your success in football manager and on player development as well. And you can see our coaching staff has been increasing and improving since the beginning of the save. Right now, we've got above average coaching in every single area, which is really nice to see. And I often, the one tip I would always say is that when you are building a backroom staff, always look for specialists in a certain area instead of having a balanced coaching staff. So right now, as you can see, we've got 2 fantastic goalkeeping coaches. We've got 1 coach that specialises in attacking, 1 coach that specialises in defending, I think 2 in fitness, 3 in fitness actually, 1 in the mental side, 1 in the technique, 1 in the tactical, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's always been the way I've done it, and I've always found the best success through that. Finding coaches that are specialists in one particular area. And the recruitment team definitely does need some work. There's no doubt about that. I might be asking the board in the summer for more scout wages and increase amount of wage we can give to our scouts, because right now they're actually quite poor. And medically speaking, it's also above average here as well, but it could still be better. Something's changed though in this year's FM. You normally used to go into Norwich Under 23 staff, and you can go into the coaching team and see them all in a list. Sadly, I can't do that for you. But either way, the Under 23s coaching team is also really good too, and our Under 18s is also really nice as well. And that's because of the new feature in this year's FM, which is the development centre screen. That's where the Under 23s and Under 18s coaches are now sort of placed or housed, if you will. And yeah, there's no Under 23s or Under 18s tab. It all goes into one in the development centre now, and then you go into them individually. But for those that are wondering about our young players here, our best young talents here, well, to be honest, as I mentioned, we've not really got a great deal of young talent coming through since this save began. The only ones that we've had that are noteworthy are, of course, the ones that are real players: Adam Ida, Jamal Lewis, so on and so forth. But the best one we've had, of course, from the academy is this guy, James Akawa. You might have seen him in Season 1. He's been out on loan at Bristol Rovers last season. He's a centre-back, but he's only 5'11", so pretty small for a centre-back. And I don't expect this guy to do much throughout the course of the series so far. So as I always say, when I get my youth intakes, I'll always show you who I've got, but never expect anyone special. I don't really get the luck with the youth intakes. Now taking a look at what goes on behind the scenes at Norwich City with the day-to-day running of the club in the boardroom and so on and so forth. We'll take a look at the finances screen to begin with, where as you can see we've got a balance of £108 million now after our fantastic first season back in the Premier League, which saw us raise £32 million in prize money after an extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary 5th placed finish. As you can see as well, I forgot to mention this, our transfer budget for the new season has now been given to us. It happened off camera, and as you can see, we've got £52.3 million for the upcoming season and a £1.4 million weekly wage budget as well. So yeah, it's a lot of money to be spending in the next season. But of course, competing in Europe next year, I would have liked it to have been a little bit more, considering we got £108 million in our bank balance. That's half our current bank balance. But you know what? The board like the saying as well. Don't talk about spend, talk about net spend. They want the finances to stay as healthy as a horse for as long as possible. So yeah, it's 52.3 million in the budget, and I'd imagine that pretty much all of that is getting spent on Rhian Brewster if I can pull that signing off. But yeah, here's our finances for those that like to take a look at this screen here. The income we generate, of course, as we know, most through prize money and through TV revenue too, and the expenditure at the club, and our wage bill, which of course, as we know, has never been higher. And the last thing I'll show you with the Canaries are our club facilities and our club general screen as well, where right now, as you can see, I am indeed in the favoured personnel, still there alongside Buendia and Tribal, who have also been added to the list as well. No one else is on there yet. I'm surprised Godfrey's not on there yet, but I'm pretty sure not before long he will be. And as for the facilities of the club as well, as I mentioned during last season, I asked the board to improve our training facilities. They granted that request, and they've now jumped up from excellent from great. So yeah, we've got excellent training facilities, excellent data analysis facilities, and excellent youth facilities as well. I would like to improve the adequate recruitment and academy coaching for our junior and youth recruitment, because of course that dictates whether we get some good players out of the youth intake or not. And Carroll Road has not had any kind of extension whatsoever. We're still on 27,359 seats here, but as seasons go by, I would eventually start asking the board for more seats at our stadium, because last season, as you know, we sold out every single game. So yeah, there you go. So moving on, and we're now going to take a look at the competitions around England and also around Europe as well. And of course, we will start with a recap of the Premier League season, where as you can see, Liverpool were crowned champions this year, with Spurs, Manchester United and Arsenal going to the top four, as we dropped out of it on the final day. Once again, match day 38, heartbreak for Norwich, and finished in 5th place. But either way, if you would have told me I would finish in 5th place at the start of the season, I would have bitten your hand off had you offered it to me. So I was still very happy with the season, no doubt about that, even if we did choke away 4th on the final day. But us, Chelsea and Man City, are going into the Europa League, and the bottom 3 were Wolves, Nottingham Forest and Newcastle United as well. And you see Martinez won the Golden Boot this year, with Tammy in 2nd and Rhian Big Game Brewster in 3rd as well. And yeah, what an incredible season it was in the Premier League. And Norwich City, I said this in the last episode, how did I not win Manager of the Year? I guided us to bloody 5th place in the table. How did I not win Manager of the Year? Klopp, you stole it from me. But anyway, as for the Championship this year, as you can see, Sheffield United are back in the Premier League after beating Leeds in the playoff final, and they're going up alongside West Ham and Fulham as well. As for League One, this season, MK Dons went up via the playoffs. Ipswich and Portsmouth are going up to the Championship. And as for League 2, that's the last league I have loaded in this game in England, Grimsby, Wycombe Wanderers, Plymouth Argyle and Bristol Rovers are going up to League 1. As for the Cups, the FA Cup this year was won by Liverpool, thrashing Arsenal by 3-0 in the final as they won a domestic double. And as for the Carabao Cup, that this year was won by Spurs, beating Arsenal in an all-London affair at Wembley. Now taking a look at some of the leagues around Europe as well. As you can see, we'll start with Spain, as they have the highest competition reputation in the save right now. Barcelona won their 5th straight La Liga this season, edging Real Madrid by a single point, as Sevilla and Valencia go into the top 4. Girona, Huesca and Real Oviedo are down to the Segunda Division. As for the Serie A, that's 3rd in the competition reputation standings. As you can see, Juventus, their dominance is over. Despite Cristiano Ronaldo's highest average rating, they haven't won the trophy in the past 2 seasons. Inter Milan won it this year, with Napoli winning it last season, and Juve this season. I don't know what on earth happened there, but they finished in 8th place in the Serie A. Do I apply for the job at Juventus? I don't think they'll hire me, but either way. Yeah, Juventus finished in 8th place this season. Extraordinary low finish for what is still a very, very decent team, including Cristiano Ronaldo, who's still there, although he is, of course, at the ripe old age of 37 now. But either way, extraordinary season for Juve there, finishing in 8th place. Did they have like a points deduction or something? No, they didn't. Very, very strange indeed. No such problems for Bayern Munich though in the Bundesliga. They are continuing to dominate German football. This is absolutely absurd, isn't it? A couple of token trophies for Borussia Dortmund, but every other season's been Bayern Munich dominance. Yeah, Dortmund 10 points behind Bayern Munich this season. RB Leipzig and Freiburg going to the Champions League, and that's Germany for you this season. As Haaland is still at Borussia Dortmund, although there has been linked some big moves to Chelsea and Manchester United, who have dropped off the interest now, but Chelsea's still in there. And yeah, he might be in the Premier League next season, who knows? And as for Ligue 1, this is the final league I've actually got loaded in France. As you can see, PSG once again won Ligue 1 this season. They, like Bayern Munich, dominating French football. And yeah, they finished 19 points clear of Nice in 2nd and Lyon 20 points ahead of in 3rd as well. Oh, by the way, Mbappe has moved on. I'm not sure if you would have seen it in the La Liga standings, but Mbappe now plays for Barcelona. Neymar is still at PSG, although it hasn't really done very well lately. I'm not entirely sure why that is. But yeah, Mbappe is now at Barcelona, and I'll show you his stats real briefly. He's one of the best young players in the world, and yeah, there you go. So I'll do you a couple more leagues that aren't loaded as well, just to show you the current winners and the past winners as well. First starting with the Portuguese league, which hasn't finished this season, but last season Benfica won it with Porto as the runners-up there. Russian Premier League also hasn't ended this season, it seems, but Zenit won it last year with Krasnodar the year before. Turkish League won by Galatasaray. It's pretty much always Galatasaray, Fenerbahce or Besiktas. This year it was Galatasaray with Besiktas runners-up and Fenerbahce in third. And I'll do a couple more in the competition reputation screen as well. Or as you can see in the Eredivisie this season, Ajax won it once again. Although again, that was last season too. I'm not sure why it's not showing this season, but Ajax won it last season anyway, 3 in a row for them now. Belgian League last year won by Royal Antwerp, a double for them. That's very interesting indeed because they haven't won it ever. And yet they've just won 2 in a row. Now that's very interesting indeed. They got a load of young talent that I could possibly snap up. No, it doesn't look like it. That's very interesting to see. I don't know what's going on there, but fair enough. The Austrian League was won by Red Bull Salzburg. They've been dominant for quite some time. A couple of years ago they didn't win it, but other than that, it's always been them. Again, I don't know why it's not showing this current season, as we have now ended most of the competitive football in European leagues. But Dynamo Kiev last season won it, and 4 years before that it was Shakhtar in a row. The SPL is always won by either Celtic or Rangers in my FM saves. I've never seen anyone else win it, and it's pretty much always Celtic as well. I do see Rangers win it 1 or 2 seasons in the save, but it's ordinarily always Celtic, and their dominance continues in Scotland right now. And we'll do a couple more. First, the Greek League. Where PAOK, this league has finished it seems, PAOK won it this year and also last season too. And I just want to see the Swiss League where, no, Young Boys this season finished in 3rd place. I was hoping that Gelson could lead them to the championship, sadly not. Basel, in fact it's not even finished this season, it was last season, so last season Basel won it for the last 2 seasons, and I'll find out during the summer, see if Young Boys have possibly done it. You never know, maybe Gelson and Dermot, who's still there, and Theo Walcott is there as well. In fact, we've got 3 former players in the BSC Young Boys team, because Vrankic is there as well. That's extraordinary. So Vrankic, I forgot we sold into BSC Young Boys. Vrankic, Dermot and Fernandez. BSC Young Boys are taking all our scraps, but let's see if come the end of the summer they led them to the title. Probably not, but you never know. So let's take a look at the international competitions as well, and of course we'll start with the World Cup, which is beginning in November for those curious. Now I don't know what's going to happen with the fixture list for the new season. That's why I'm hesitant to set my pre-season friendlies, because I don't know when the season's going to begin. I know I can cancel the friendlies, but either way, you can see the World Cup is going to be hosted in Qatar this year, but it is going to be a November start. It starts in late November. You can see the groups here and who's been drawn in what group. England are in Group H alongside Poland, USA and Uzbekistan as well. And just before I move on to the European Championships, I want to show you who's been called up from Norwich to play in the World Cup. Actually, no. Sorry, I got it wrong there. These players are getting called up for friendly. Sorry, my bad. The World Cup squads, of course, haven't been decided yet, because of course it's in November. My mistake, never mind. Disregard that. Now, the last European Championship, as you can see, was won by Croatia. Yes, they put the World Cup heartbreak of 2 years prior behind them to go and win the Euros. Talk about resilience from Croatia. That's fantastic, isn't it? And the next one will be in 2 years' time. And you might notice it was Croatia versus Bosnia final, which, interesting. Bosnia beat Spain and Croatia beat France in the semi-final. So talk about avenging demons there. But just a really interesting European Championship, wasn't it? A couple of years ago, as Croatia won it in extra time, and sadly I can't get details of that. Can I find out? There we go. The goal scorers there for Croatia and for Bosnia too. As for the Copa America, you can see the last one was 2 years ago, where Brazil managed to win it. They beat Chile on penalties in the final of the competition there. And as for the African Cup of Nations, I will show you what's been going on there once it loads for me. Where are we here? There we are. Ivory Coast won it a year ago. 2 years before that, it was Algeria. And there we go. Ivory Coast holders. The next one will be next season. And the final two things I'll show you are who won the Europa League and who won the Champions League. As you can see, England's dominance continues in the Europa League. Chelsea beat Bayer Leverkusen by 2-0 in the final, with Man City winning it last year and Arsenal the year before, and Chelsea the year before that. Atletico won it back in 2017-2018, but of course the year before that Manchester United won it. So yeah, it's been all England really in the Europa League. And speaking of all England in the Champions League, I know you guys will be very interested in that. In the Champions League this season, Liverpool won the treble this season and their third Champions League in 4 seasons. You know when I said I deserve Manager of the Year over Klopp? I'm talking strictly about the Premier League, you know, you're not talking about the FA Cup and the Champions League. Of course, Klopp's guided Liverpool to the treble this season, but I still think I had a better season than him in the Premier League. But no, Liverpool 3 Champions Leagues in 4 years, and yeah, they are really on fire right now and looking like the best team in the world. And I can't think of anything else to show you, so I think we'll leave the special in-depth look at the save there. So I'd like to say a big thank you for watching the video and the series as a whole, guys. We've done 23 episodes and it's been absolutely fantastic so far. An unprecedented journey for me. I've never been relegated in the save for YouTube, of course the first one here, and what a bounce back season we had in season 3. It's been an amazing journey so far, utterly bizarre along many stages of the way, and I'm sure it's just going to get crazier as the seasons go by. But thank you so much for all the support in the series so far, guys. I'm so happy you guys are enjoying it. It's been loads and loads of fun. And of course, we will be returning in the very next episode with a brand new season and our first in a European competition as well. So thanks for watching the episode and the series as a whole, guys. Please do drop a like if you have enjoyed the episode. And also as well, if you guys want to see anything specific in the save, I'm happy to provide screenshots for you. Drop me a tweet at DocLanders, and if you want me to get you a screenshot or something, maybe you want to see how a particular player's getting on in my save right now, or a club or whatever, drop me a tweet at DocLanders and I'll gladly drop you guys a screenshot back when I get the time. So yeah, have a great day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon, the beginning of season 4 with a new season transfer special in European football. Much love, guys, and I'll see you for new season very soon.